we talk about mental strength, it's not about having an unbreakable exterior or being impervious to the challenges life throws our way. Mental strength is about resilience, the ability to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with grace, clarity, and wisdom. Mentally strong people possess an inner fortitude that allows them to face adversity without losing themselves in it. They understand that challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth. The first thing mentally strong people do is they embrace change. They don't fear it, they welcome it. They understand that life is in constant motion and trying to hold on to what is no longer serving them only hinders their growth. They know that change is not something to resist, but something to flow with. It's through change that we expand, that we become more than we were before. When we let go of the fear of change, we allow ourselves to move forward into new experiences and possibilities. The second thing mentally strong people do is they live in the present moment. They are not consumed by regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. Instead, they focus on what they can control in the here and now. By living fully in the present, they understand that the power to create a fulfilling life lies in their actions, thoughts, and choices today. They know that dwelling on the past or worrying about what might happen only robs them of the peace and clarity they need to navigate life's challenges. Change is an inevitable part of life, yet many of us resist it. We cling to the familiar, to the comfort of what we know, because change can often feel overwhelming, unsettling, or even scary. But the reality is, change is the one constant we can always count on. It's through change that we grow, evolve, and become the people we are meant to be. Mentally strong people understand this truth deeply. They don't fear change, they embrace it, seeing it as an opportunity to become more, to learn, and to move closer to their true potential. When we embrace change, we shift our perspective. Instead of viewing it as something to be feared or avoided, we see it as a natural part of life's flow, something that carries us forward if we are willing to let go of our resistance. Change forces us to adapt, to stretch beyond our current limits, and to open ourselves to new possibilities. Those who resist it often find themselves stuck in the past, unable to move forward, while those who embrace change allow themselves to evolve in ways they never thought possible. Mentally strong people know that growth cannot happen without change. The person you were yesterday is not the person you are today, and the person you are today will not be the person you are tomorrow. Change allows you to shed old skin, discard outdated beliefs, and embrace new ideas that will serve you better as you move forward. It is in the moments of change that we experience the most profound growth, even if it's uncomfortable at times. However, embracing change requires a mindset shift. It's easy to fall into the trap of fearing the unknown, but mentally strong people do not let fear control them. Instead of being paralyzed by uncertainty, they view it as an invitation to trust in themselves and in the process of life. They understand that nothing in life is permanent, not even the challenges they face. No matter how difficult things may seem, they know that change is always on the horizon, bringing with it new opportunities and perspectives. This mindset of acceptance doesn't mean that mentally strong people are immune to the discomfort that change brings. Change can be challenging, and it often comes with a sense of loss or grief. But instead of resisting it, mentally strong individuals allow themselves to feel the discomfort without letting it define them. They understand that growth often requires a period of discomfort, and they accept that the pain of change is part of the process. Another important aspect of embracing change is the willingness to let go of what no longer serves us. Whether it's old habits, outdated beliefs, or toxic relationships, change requires us to be willing to release the things that are holding us back. Mentally strong people know that clinging to the past, to what is familiar but no longer helpful, is an obstacle to their growth. Letting go is not always easy, but it is necessary in order to make room for new possibilities. By embracing change, mentally strong people also cultivate resilience. They become accustomed to navigating uncertainty, and this helps them to bounce back more quickly when things don't go as planned. They don't see setbacks as failures, but as opportunities to recalibrate and keep moving forward. Change teaches them to trust in their ability to adapt, learn and to grow, no matter what life throws their way. Mentally strong people also understand that change often leads to new opportunities they might not have anticipated. When you're open to change, you open yourself up to new experiences, new people, and new ways of thinking. These opportunities can enrich your life in ways that staying in your comfort zone never could. The unknown, which many of us fear, holds endless possibilities. Change forces us to step into that unknown, and it's in doing so that we often find the very things that will bring us closer to our dreams. Additionally, embracing change requires an attitude of patience and trust. We may not always see the full picture immediately, but mentally strong people trust that change is leading them somewhere meaningful. They understand that the process may take time, but they are willing to wait and work through it, knowing that each step is bringing them closer to their desired outcome. Ultimately, embracing change is about letting go of the need to control everything. It's about trusting that life will unfold as it's meant to, even when the path is unclear. Mentally strong people are not attached to a specific outcome, but rather to the idea of staying open, adaptable, and present in the process. They are willing to flow with life's currents, knowing that while they cannot control everything, they can control how they respond to it. So let go of your fear of change and instead begin to view it as an ally. See it for what it truly is, an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to step closer to the person you are meant to become. Trust in the journey, trust in yourself, and know that the changes you experience today are the building blocks of a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of you. Living in the present moment is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental strength. So often, we get caught up in the stories we tell ourselves about the past or the fears we imagine about the future. Our minds wander into the regrets, mistakes, and what-ifs that fill our past, or we worry endlessly about what might happen tomorrow, next week, or even years down the road. But the reality is that the present moment is the only time that truly exists. It is where life is happening, where opportunities are unfolding, and where we have the power to shape our experience. Mentally strong people understand the importance of staying grounded in the present. They know that the past cannot be changed and the future is not guaranteed. The only thing we have control over is this very moment. The thoughts we think, the choices we make, and how we respond to whatever comes our way. By focusing on the present, we open ourselves up to fully experiencing life rather than letting it pass by unnoticed or overshadowed by distractions from the past or future. When we're constantly dwelling on past mistakes or regrets, we are often stuck in a loop of self-blame or guilt. We're not able to move forward because we're anchored in what has already been. Mentally strong people recognize that while it's important to learn from the past, there is no benefit in living there. What happened is no longer within our control, but how we choose to react to it today is. They embrace the idea that life is not about avoiding mistakes or trying to fix the past, but about learning, growing, and moving forward with a new perspective. On the flip side, mentally strong individuals don't spend their time endlessly worrying about the future. The future is an unknown, and while it's good to plan and prepare, it's equally important to acknowledge that the future is unpredictable. No amount of worrying or anxiety can change what's going to happen next. In fact, spending too much time worrying about the future often robs us of the energy we could be using to fully engage in the present. Mentally strong people understand that living in constant anticipation of what's next is draining. Instead, they choose to live in the now, finding peace and joy in the current moment, knowing that the future will unfold as it should. Living in the present moment also means becoming fully engaged in the activities and people that matter most. When we are physically present but mentally elsewhere, we miss out on the richness of the experience in front of us. We might be sitting with our loved ones, but our minds are on a meeting we have later or a problem we're trying to solve. Mentally strong people focus on the here and now. When they are with someone, they are fully present, listening and engaging with an open heart. When they are working, they are completely focused on the task at hand. By practicing presence, they are able to give their best to each moment, which leads to greater satisfaction, productivity, and deeper relationships. One of the most profound aspects of living in the present moment is the ability to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. It's about accepting each moment as it is without trying to control or manipulate it. Mentally strong people practice mindfulness in their daily lives, whether it's through meditation, conscious breathing, or simply paying attention to the details of their surroundings. They know that the more present they are, the more peace they will find within themselves. Mindfulness allows them to connect to the world around them in a way that is grounded, peaceful, and rooted in the now. Moreover, living in the present moment also helps us to reduce stress and anxiety. When we focus on the present, we are no longer consumed by the overwhelming thoughts of the past or the future. We're not spiraling into worries about what went wrong yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. Instead, we learn to take things as they come, one step at a time, knowing that we have the strength to handle whatever comes our way. Stress often arises from our perception of the future or our attachments to past outcomes. By grounding ourselves in the present, we can learn to let go of these unnecessary anxieties and reduce the mental clutter that drains our energy. It's important to remember that living in the present doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities or ignoring planning for the future. It means not allowing the weight of the past or the uncertainties of the future to steal your peace in the present. It's about making the most of today, giving your full attention to whatever you're doing in this moment. Whether you're enjoying a quiet morning, engaging in deep conversation with a friend, or working on a project, when you're fully present, you bring your best self to the situation, and you experience life more fully. Mentally strong individuals know that life is fleeting. They understand that no moment is guaranteed, which is why they strive to make the most of every moment. They live with a sense of urgency, but not in a frantic, stressed way. Instead, it's an urgency to be fully alive and engaged in whatever they are doing. They make sure that they are present with their loved ones, present with their work, and present with their own thoughts and feelings. They are not waiting for the perfect moment to live their lives. They know that the perfect moment is now. Living in the present is an empowering choice, one that takes practice but can transform how you experience life. The more you choose to embrace the present moment, the more peace, clarity, and joy you'll find in your everyday life. Start small. Begin by taking a few moments each day to breathe deeply, focus on your senses, and let go of everything else. In doing so, you'll discover the beauty of the now and unlock the mental strength that comes with living fully in the present. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices that mentally strong people embrace. In a world that often emphasizes what we lack, gratitude shifts our focus to what we already have, creating a powerful sense of abundance and fulfillment. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting more, thinking that happiness is on the other side of some external achievement or possession. Yet mentally strong individuals understand that true peace and happiness come from appreciating the present, not from constantly striving for something more. They know that the act of being grateful transforms their mindset and ultimately their life. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you for the big blessings in life, like a successful career or a loving family. It's about recognizing and appreciating the small moments, the quiet blessings, and even the challenges that come your way. Mentally strong people are able to find something to be grateful for, even in the midst of difficulty. This doesn't mean they ignore the hardships they face or pretend that everything is perfect. Instead, they understand that even in the hardest times, there is value to be found. Whether it's a lesson learned, a strength discovered, or simply the ability to persevere. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus away from what's missing and towards what's already present in our lives. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. It opens our eyes to the beauty that surrounds us every day. Whether it's the warmth of the sun on our skin, a kind word from a friend, or the comfort of a good night's sleep. Mentally strong individuals cultivate a mindset of abundance, knowing that the more they focus on what they have, the more they attract positivity into their lives. It's also important to understand that gratitude doesn't have to be a grand, elaborate practice. It can be as simple as taking a moment each day to reflect on what went well, or acknowledging the people who have had a positive impact on your life. Mentally strong people make gratitude a habit, not just an occasional act. They take the time to appreciate the small victories, the good conversation they had with a colleague, the fact that they got out of bed when they didn't feel like it, or the simple joy of a delicious meal. By celebrating these small moments, they create a sense of richness in their lives. Moreover, practicing gratitude helps to rewire our brain. Neuroscience has shown that when we focus on positive emotions such as gratitude, we activate the parts of our brain responsible for happiness, love, and peace. Gratitude reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and even improves our physical health by boosting our immune system. When we consciously focus on what we are thankful for, our brains begin to see more of it. It's as though we're training ourselves to notice the good that's always been there, but that we might have overlooked before. Mentally strong people also recognize the importance of gratitude in their relationships. They understand that relationships are the cornerstone of a fulfilling life, and gratitude is a key ingredient in nurturing them. When we express gratitude for the people in our lives, we deepen our connections, whether it's a simple thank you, a heartfelt note, or a kind gesture. Gratitude fosters an atmosphere of love and appreciation. Mentally strong individuals take the time to acknowledge the people who support, inspire, and uplift them. They make an effort to show their appreciation, knowing that this not only strengthens their relationships, but also reminds them of the value others bring into their lives. Gratitude also teaches us to be more present. When we are focused on what we are thankful for, we naturally become more engaged in the current moment. This aligns with the previous point of living in the present, as gratitude anchors us in the here and now. Instead of thinking about what could be better or what we wish we had, we are grounded in the present moment, fully aware of the gifts we've already received. At times, life can feel overwhelming, and it might seem like there is more to complain about than to be thankful for. However, mentally strong people don't shy away from the challenges. They understand that adversity is part of the journey and that it often brings the most growth. Gratitude in difficult times doesn't mean denying pain or pretending everything is okay. It means choosing to look for the silver lining. It means recognizing that even in hardship, there are lessons to be learned, strengths to be discovered, and a deeper appreciation for the good things when they come. By practicing gratitude regularly, mentally strong individuals cultivate resilience. They don't let life's difficulties break them down. Instead, they use gratitude as a tool to bounce back, to stay focused on the positives, and to continue moving forward with a hopeful outlook. In this way, gratitude becomes a form of emotional strength. It helps us endure challenges without losing sight of the good. It enables us to maintain peace even in chaos. And it encourages us to rise above negativity. Gratitude also fosters a sense of contentment. When we are grateful, we no longer feel the need to constantly compare ourselves to others or to chase after external validation. Mentally strong people know that their worth is not defined by material possessions or societal standards. They recognize that true happiness comes from within, from the ability to appreciate what is already present in their lives. This contentment is not about complacency, but about being at peace with who we are and where we are in the present moment. In closing, gratitude is more than just an attitude. It is a practice that shapes our reality. It is the lens through which we view the world, and by choosing to see life through a lens of gratitude, we begin to notice the abundance and beauty all around us. It is a practice that mentally strong people rely on to keep them grounded, to enhance their well-being, and to foster stronger, more fulfilling relationships. So take a moment today to reflect on the things you are thankful for, no matter how big or small. And remember, the more you practice gratitude, the more it will transform your life from the inside out. Letting go of what you cannot control is one of the most powerful actions you can take to reclaim your peace of mind. Life is full of uncertainty, and while we can influence certain aspects of our lives, there will always be things beyond our control. The sooner we accept this truth, the sooner we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Mentally strong people understand that trying to control every outcome, every person, and every situation is not only exhausting, but it also prevents us from living in harmony with the natural flow of life. Many of us are conditioned to believe that we should be able to control everything. We want to have a clear plan, a predictable future, and complete authority over the direction of our lives. This desire for control often comes from a place of fear. The fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, or the fear of not being good enough. But in reality, the more we try to control things outside of our influence, the more we tie ourselves down to outcomes that may never come to pass. Mentally strong individuals recognize that the key to peace is to focus on what they can control, their actions, their mindset, and their responses to the world around them. They choose to invest their energy into the things that matter most without wasting time or resources on trying to manipulate circumstances beyond their reach. They don't try to control how others think, feel, or act. They understand that everyone has their own journey, and it is not their responsibility to dictate the course of someone else's life. Instead, they focus on how they can show up as their best selves, regardless of what others do. This doesn't mean that mentally strong people don't have goals or aspirations. They certainly do. However, they approach their dreams with a sense of openness and trust. They understand that while they can take purposeful steps toward their goals, they cannot control the timing, the path, or the people involved. They have learned to let go of the need for things to unfold according to their exact expectations. Instead, they trust the process and remain adaptable to whatever life throws their way. This flexibility and willingness to surrender to life's flow allows them to stay grounded and resilient, even in the face of adversity. Letting go of control also applies to our thoughts and emotions. Many of us become trapped in patterns of negative thinking or ruminate over past events that we cannot change. Mentally strong people know that their thoughts are not facts, and they do not have to be slaves to their emotions. They acknowledge their feelings, but do not let them dictate their actions. They understand that emotional reactions are a part of being human, but they do not allow these reactions to control their behavior or mindset. By practicing mindfulness and emotional awareness, they learn to detach from negative thought patterns and emotional turbulence, allowing them to maintain inner peace regardless of external circumstances. In relationships, letting go of control is equally important. We cannot control how others feel or act, no matter how much we may wish to. Trying to control relationships by manipulating people or situations leads to frustration, resentment, and conflict. Mentally strong people recognize that the only person they can control is themselves. They approach relationships with love, respect, and boundaries, understanding that while they can influence how others respond, they cannot force anyone to change. Instead, they focus on creating a healthy dynamic that honors both their own needs and the needs of others. They communicate openly, listen actively, and show empathy without trying to control or dictate the outcome of the relationship. Letting go of control also involves accepting uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be factors that we cannot foresee. Trying to control every possible scenario only leads to paralysis, fear, and missed opportunities. Mentally strong people embrace uncertainty, understanding that the unknown is not something to be feared, but something to be explored. They trust that they have the resources, resilience, and adaptability to handle whatever comes their way, even if it's not what they expected. They approach life with curiosity, seeing challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth and learning. The practice of letting go requires trust in yourself, trust in others, and trust in the universe or whatever higher power you believe in. When we let go of control, we make space for life to unfold in ways that we may not have been able to plan or predict. And often what emerges is far better than what we could have imagined. Mentally strong people understand that they don't need to control everything to ensure a fulfilling life. They know that by releasing the need for control, they create space for joy, peace, and flow. One of the most powerful realizations in this process is that control is often an illusion. We may think we have control over outcomes, but in reality, life is constantly in flux. By accepting the impermanence of all things, we free ourselves from the pressure to have everything figured out. This acceptance is not a resignation, but an act of liberation. Letting go of control is an act of self-love. as it allows us to release the burden of perfectionism and the constant anxiety that comes from trying to manage everything. Ultimately, mentally strong people know that life is about living in alignment with what we can control and letting go of the rest. They focus on what they can change, how they show up, how they respond, and how they grow. They no longer waste energy on the things they cannot control, and in doing so, they reclaim their inner peace and their power. By releasing the need to control everything, they are free to live in the present moment, fully aware of the beauty and abundance that surrounds them. Letting go of what you cannot control is a practice of surrender. It's a way of saying, I trust that life will unfold as it's meant to, and I will meet it with an open heart and mind. Through this practice, you will find the strength to navigate life's uncertainties with grace, and you will discover the profound freedom that comes with letting go. One of the most essential aspects of mental strength is the ability to set and maintain boundaries. Boundaries are not only about protecting your physical space, but also about safeguarding your emotional well-being, your time, and your energy. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by external demands, expectations, and distractions, mentally strong people understand the importance of setting clear boundaries. They know that without boundaries, they risk losing their sense of self, overextending themselves, and ultimately burning out. Boundaries serve as a way to protect what is most precious, our peace, our time, and our mental health. Without them, we allow others to dictate how we spend our energy, what we prioritize, and how we feel. It's easy to get caught up in trying to please others or say yes when we really want to say no. Mentally strong people recognize that in order to be their best selves for others, they must first take care of their own needs. They know that they cannot pour from an empty cup, and that setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. Setting boundaries is not always easy, especially when it involves saying no to others. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must always be available, always be helpful, or always put others' needs ahead of our own. But mentally strong people understand that this mindset only leads to resentment, burnout, and diminished self-worth. They learn to recognize when they are being stretched too thin, and they take action to protect their energy and well-being. Saying no doesn't mean they are rejecting others. It means they are prioritizing their own needs in a healthy way. They understand that in order to show up fully for others, they must first show up for themselves. Establishing boundaries also involves being clear about what is and isn't acceptable in terms of behavior from others. Mentally strong people don't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or toxic relationships. They know that they have the right to protect themselves from harmful people and situations. They don't allow others to drain their energy or violate their personal values. Whether it's setting boundaries at work, with family, or with friends, mentally strong individuals communicate their needs clearly and assertively. They understand that while they cannot control the actions of others, they can control how they respond and what they are willing to accept. Setting boundaries is also about managing your time effectively. In a world that demands constant attention and instant responses, it's easy to get overwhelmed with tasks, messages, and obligations. Mentally strong people know how to prioritize what matters most and create space for the things that align with their values and goals. They don't allow themselves to be consumed by distractions or other people's agendas. They recognize that their time is precious, and they are deliberate about where they invest it. Whether it's saying no to unnecessary commitments, creating designated time for rest, or setting aside time for personal growth, mentally strong people are intentional with their time. They know that by protecting their time, they can better focus on what truly matters and be more present in their lives. Another key element of boundary setting is learning to say no without guilt. It's natural to feel guilty when we turn down an invitation or decline to help someone. However, mentally strong people understand that saying no is not a reflection of their worth or kindness. In fact, saying no is an important way to protect their energy and preserve their mental health. They know that saying yes to everything leads to burnout, stress, and resentment, while saying no allows them to focus on what is truly important and aligns with their values. Over time, they learn that saying no is not only necessary, but empowering. It allows them to honor their own needs and preserve their well-being, which ultimately benefits everyone around them. Mentally strong people also understand that boundaries are not static. They are dynamic and can change over time. As circumstances evolve, so too do our needs and limits. What may have been an acceptable boundary at one point may no longer serve us later on. This is why it's important to regularly reassess our boundaries and make adjustments when necessary. Mentally strong individuals are flexible and willing to adapt. They are in tune with their own needs and recognize when a boundary needs to be adjusted to maintain their well-being. In relationship, boundaries are essential for maintaining respect and balance. When we don't set boundaries in relationships, we often allow the other person's needs or expectations to take precedence over our own. This leads to feelings of frustration, burnout, and a loss of identity. Mentally strong people understand that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, clear communication, and understanding. They don't compromise their values or well-being to please others, and they encourage those they love to do the same. By setting and respecting boundaries, they create space for healthy, fulfilling connections that support their growth and happiness. While setting boundaries is crucial for mental strength, it's equally important to respect the boundaries of others. Mentally strong people know that boundaries are not just about protecting themselves, but also about respecting the autonomy of others. They listen when others express their needs and understand that everyone has their own limits and comfort zones. They approach relationships with a deep sense of respect for others' boundaries, creating an environment of trust and mutual understanding. This mutual respect fosters stronger, more harmonious relationships where both individuals can thrive. In summary, the ability to set and maintain healthy boundaries is an essential component of mental strength. Boundaries allow us to protect our time, energy, and emotional well-being, enabling us to show up fully for ourselves and others. By setting clear boundaries, we take control of our lives and prioritize our needs without guilt or shame. Mentally strong people understand that boundaries are not a sign of weakness, but an act of self-respect. They recognize that by protecting their boundaries, they create space for growth, joy, and fulfillment. So take a moment to reflect on your own boundaries. What are you willing to accept, and what do you need to protect? By setting clear, intentional boundaries, you can build a life that honors who you are and what you truly value. Mentally strong people are those who practice the art of embracing discomfort. In a world that constantly urges us to seek comfort and avoid pain, those who possess mental strength understand that growth, transformation, and resilience are often born out of discomfort. It's easy to avoid challenging situations, to stay in our comfort zones, and to shy away from anything that might cause us emotional or physical discomfort. However, the reality is that without stepping into the uncomfortable, we will never grow. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean seeking out pain for the sake of it, nor does it mean putting ourselves in harmful or dangerous situations. Rather, it means being willing to face the discomfort that arises from pushing ourselves beyond our limits, from taking risks, from making difficult decisions, and from confronting the hard truths that life sometimes presents. Mentally strong people know that the process of growth often requires discomfort. But that discomfort is not something to be feared. It is something to be welcomed as a catalyst for positive change. When we consistently choose comfort, we stagnate. We become complacent, and in doing so, we miss out on opportunities for growth. This could be the discomfort of trying something new, of learning a new skill, of speaking up in a challenging conversation, or of making a decision that might initially feel uncertain or intimidating. By embracing these moments of discomfort, mentally strong individuals are able to stretch their boundaries, expand their potential, and move closer to the life they want to create. They understand that stepping outside of their comfort zones is where the magic happens, where they learn new things about themselves, where they overcome fears, and where they discover untapped strengths. It's essential to recognize that discomfort often precedes breakthrough. When we push through difficult moments, we experience growth that wouldn't be possible otherwise. Whether it's the discomfort of failure or the unease of trying something we've never done before, mentally strong individuals see these moments as necessary stepping stones to greater achievement. They understand that without failure, there would be no success, and without facing the unknown, there would be no progress. Embracing discomfort allows them to build resilience, which is the ability to bounce back stronger from setbacks. Mentally strong people also embrace emotional discomfort. Life isn't always smooth sailing, and we all face difficult emotions from time to time. Grief, sadness, fear, anger, or frustration. Instead of running from these emotions or trying to numb them with distractions, they lean into their feelings. They allow themselves to feel fully, without judgment or resistance. This doesn't mean wallowing in negativity, but rather acknowledging that discomfort is part of being human. By allowing themselves to experience their emotions fully, they can process them, learn from them, and move through them with greater ease. A crucial part of embracing discomfort is reframing how we view it. Often, when we face discomfort, our first instinct is to avoid it, to make it go away, or to find a way to escape. But mentally strong people reframe discomfort as a sign of growth. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to run from, they see it as a signal that they are on the edge of personal evolution. It's like a muscle that needs to be stretched in order to grow stronger. The more we embrace discomfort, the more resilient we become, and the more prepared we are to face whatever challenges life throws our way. This doesn't mean that mentally strong people enjoy being uncomfortable. No one does. But they know that discomfort is a temporary state, and that on the other side of it lies personal development, greater opportunities, and deeper fulfillment. Embracing discomfort allows them to build the mental toughness needed to face future challenges with confidence and poise. Each time they step out of their comfort zone, they add to their reservoir of strength, preparing themselves for the inevitable challenges that life will bring. They learn to trust in their ability to handle discomfort, knowing that they have the inner resources to navigate through any situation. Mentally strong individuals also understand the power of consistency in embracing discomfort. It's not just a one-time act of courage, it's a lifelong practice. Whether it's in their personal relationships, their careers, or their health, they know that avoiding discomfort leads to missed opportunities, regret, and stagnation. Each day presents a new chance to stretch their comfort zone, whether that means tackling a difficult task at work, confronting an uncomfortable truth in a relationship, or doing something physically challenging. They make a habit of seeking out discomfort in small ways, knowing that these everyday actions accumulate over time to build a strong, resilient mindset. In relationships, embracing discomfort can mean having difficult conversations, confronting unhealthy patterns, or setting boundaries that others may not immediately understand. It's never easy to speak up for yourself or to address issues that have been brewing under the surface. However, mentally strong individuals understand that by having these tough conversations, they create space for growth, healing, and better connections. They also know that avoiding these discomforts only breeds resentment, miscommunication, and disconnection. Embracing the discomfort of honest, sometimes uncomfortable dialogue strengthens relationships and fosters trust. The discomfort of taking risks is another area where mental strength is built. Life requires us to take risks. Whether it's starting a new project, moving to a new city, pursuing a new career, or stepping into a new phase of life. Mentally strong people don't shy away from risk because they fear failure or uncertainty. Instead, they view risks as opportunities for personal growth. They know that without risk, there can be no reward. Whether they succeed or fail, they gain valuable experience that shapes their future decisions and builds their confidence. Ultimately, embracing discomfort is not about seeking out pain or suffering for its own sake. It is about acknowledging that discomfort is an essential part of growth. It's about developing the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing that by doing so you are strengthening your resilience and expanding your potential. Mentally strong people do not avoid discomfort. They embrace it as a necessary part of the human experience. They understand that it is through discomfort that we break free from limitations, discover our true strength, and live a life that is rich with possibility. So the next time discomfort shows up, remember that it's not something to fear. It's the gateway to your next level of growth. As we reflect on the 9 things mentally strong people do, we come to realize that mental strength is not something that comes overnight, nor is it a trait that is simply granted to some and not others. It is a practice, a series of habits and decisions we make every single day. It is about choosing to believe in yourself, embracing discomfort, setting clear boundaries, letting go of control, and most importantly, knowing that your mind is the greatest asset you have in shaping your life. By adopting these principles, you have the power to become more resilient, more focused, and more aligned with your true purpose. Remember, strength doesn't come from avoiding the difficult moments, but from embracing them with the belief that you are capable of navigating through anything. So as you move forward, keep in mind that the road ahead may not always be smooth, but with the right mindset, you have the tools to turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. I wish you all the best in your journey of mental strength. Keep cultivating your inner power, keep pushing past your limits, and keep believing in yourself. Thank you for your time and good luck as you continue to build the strong, resilient, and fulfilled life you deserve.